So welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about tomatoes and how you pinch them out, and just a few top tips that I do to get really good tomatoes and the types that I'm growing this year. Now, if you've not already subscribed to my channel, if you could please do so, because you'll get lots of helpful hints and tips all throughout the year from my home garden, my allotment, and also my home kitchen. Now, I've had a lot of people asking me what variety of tomatoes I grow, and the reality is every year I do kind of have some favourites that I like, but I have no hard and fast rules except for one that I really do like. And also I like to grow a variety. That's my big thing. I love different shapes, colours, sizes, that sort of thing. Now, one that I do grow every single year is Roma. So that is my one that I always grow, and the reason I grow Roma is because they're quite large plum tomatoes and they make excellent tomato sauce, and they are really juicy and tasty, like the Italian tomatoes that we all know and love. That's my absolute favourite. I do quite like sun gold, although I haven't actually got any sun gold this year, and little cherry tomatoes as well. So I have got a mixture of different types of cherry tomatoes I've started off. But something else, some of the different ones I've got that one there. So tomato pear drop, never grown it before, but really looking forward to it. This tomato black cherry, which I think I've grown in the past before, but that's a different one again, different colour. Tigerella, as you can see, it's got slightly stripy fruits there. I think they're quite large tomatoes, so I've got that one this year. That one's in the ground, so that's why I've taken the tag out. And this one as well, Sun Baby. So that's another one that I've never grown before, but it was just one that I liked the sounds of. And the rest of them are just different types of cherry tomatoes. For me, it's all about variety, colours, making it more interesting, things that you don't get in the supermarkets that you can do yourself. I typically grow about 10 to 12 tomato plants because that gives me enough, because I freeze some, I make lots of tomato sauce, I make chutneys, that sort of thing. Now, to care for your tomatoes, I'm actually starting to put some of them out. So these bigger ones, it's really starting to warm up in Kent now, and I think the chance of frost has passed. But if I do think I'm going to get a frosty night, then I will cover them with some fleece just to protect them. These smaller ones, I'll wait for these to come on a little bit more, and I will obviously start feeding my tomatoes. A lot of them say to start feeding at the start of when they first start to fruit, but I actually start feeding them quite early on, and all the gardeners I know do the same, to give them the best start that you possibly can. Now, with tomatoes and pinching out, there's two distinct varieties. There's the bush variety, which you don't pinch out. You pretty much let it do what it wants to do, and it needs a lot more space. Or it's one of those ones where you have it in a hanging basket, like something like Tumbling Tom, where it just hangs over the hanging basket. That's typically one that you wouldn't pinch out, which was called a bush variety. But most tomatoes are the cordon variety, which basically means they grow up. So you have to take all the side shoots out, because you don't want side shoots, because it won't focus its energy on growing tomatoes. It'll produce lots of leaves, you'll struggle to get tomatoes, and when you do get tomatoes, if you don't pinch them out, you'll then struggle to get them to ripen. Every single year I see a lot of people on a lot of the groups, on the Facebook groups, are, their tomatoes are a mess. They've got leaves and stalks everywhere, and they're wondering why they've not got any fruit, or if they have, it's not ripening. And that's because they've not been pinching out. Now, let me just take one out separate so you can see exactly what I mean, because I've got three together, so it can look a little bit confusing. So what you want is obviously a single stem going up through the middle, and then anything coming out of the stalk. So if you've got a leaf, so you've got the stem going up, the leaf going out, and this is where you pinch it out. So where the leaf joins the stalk, you pinch all these out. The reality is you will miss the odd one, and if you miss the odd one, don't worry about it. It happens, but get most of them out. You will get the odd one that you miss. But like, there we go. So, and there's another one to pinch out there. And as you can see, we've got some fruits falling just there. This one's quite a little bit leggy because it's quite early, so I will sink this quite heftily into the ground when I plant this. One thing you've got to remember is that pinching out isn't just a one-time only job. I don't just do this once and then it's done. All throughout the season you're going to get more shoots coming out, and you've got to keep on top of it. Otherwise it will. And the other thing you have to look out for, not only do you get side shoots, sometimes they start to shoot out from the bottom. Again, the same thing, you need to take them off. All you want is one single stalk going up through the middle. And then a really good example of how it looks, I've got some with some bloom here, is this one here. So this one, I've got some that have actually come quite a way. See that, again, you've got the main stalk, you've got the leaf, you pinch that out. Same here, you take all those out. And this is where the fruit forms. So the fruit actually forms off the stalk. So that's obviously what you don't pinch out. And that doesn't come from there. So you know that you're not taking the wrong thing, because the shoots come between a leaf and the stalk, and the fruit comes completely separate without a leaf, if that makes sense. Now, I do really hope that that's made sense to everyone, and everyone's going to have really fantastic tomatoes this year. I'd love to know what everyone else is growing, and if you could like, comment and subscribe. The more we do that, the more this gets shared, and the more people we help, and the more people grow successful fruits and vegetables to have a fantastic harvest this year.